Ramsey Show. You can be intentional about your character. You can have money and a career. You are the hero in your story.
Live from the headquarters of Ramsey Solutions, broadcasting from the Dollar Car Rental Studio, this is The Ramsey Show. It's where America hangs out to have a conversation about your life and your money. I'm Ken Coleman, joined by my colleague, best-selling author Christy Wright, and we are here together today to take your calls, 888-825-5225. It is a free call, 888-825-5225. Now, of course, we'll take your money calls, but because Christy and I are here together, we're going to lock arms and dive in on stuff that we work on every day and talk about on our shows that are named after us. And so we'll talk about the all-important topic of how slammed everybody feels, stressed out. There's not enough time.
That is the truth.
Christy's brand new book that's available for pre-sale right now, Take Back Your Time, The Guilt-Free Guide to Life Balance. So we'll take those calls. You're feeling frazzled, guilty about it? She's ready. All right, I'll just sit back and listen and just marvel and take some notes. How about a side business? Want to start a side business, or you've started one and you need a little bit of coaching there? Well, she is a certified business coach. All right, so we'll do that. Hey, in my area, I'm trying to help people do work that they love, income and impact. How about that?
Ooh,
how about a job that actually gets you a bigger shovel and you actually love doing it? Side hustle idea. Christy and I love to combine on those. Leadership challenges. You're in a situation where you love the work, but you're in a horrible leadership situation. Christy and I love taking on leadership questions as well if you want to lead better. So have I covered just about everything besides money that you and I like to talk about?
I think you have, but what's interesting is for years of doing this show, even when we get money calls, Ken, so often it's actually not a money question.
You're right.
They think it's a money question and it ends up being a relationship issue, or they think it's a money question and it's a job issue, or it's a pricing issue in your business. So you can call with whatever question you have, but what we're going to do is get to the root of it, whatever that may be.
And you're married, I'm married, we both have 3 kids, so we can commiserate. We feel your pain, don't we?
Yes. You tell me the littles are easier. I believe that your kids are easier. Either way, we just feel like the other one somehow has it easier. You're like, it can't be.
Yeah. Parenting just is so stinking hard, isn't it? Especially when you're parenting, trying to launch something, or in your case, a book, keeping a business going. Oh, by the way, you're in seminary too.
Listen,
I don't know.
You got 2 boys.
Did you take on a lot just so that you could use your book?
Just so I could empathize.
Is that what it was?
I would love it.
Feels like maybe you did that.
That would be a great marketing play. Though I have a lifelong history of this problem. No, listen, you have 2 boys and a daughter as well. But listen, for all the boy parents out there, man, it's like
I don't know where this is going, but I'm excited.
How many times a day do the boy moms and dads say, "What were you thinking?" Like, it's like I literally don't think their brain works sometimes. But let me just tell you what happened.
On behalf of all men and boys, you're right.
100%. Let me tell you, I walked in my son's room 2 nights ago. True story. This is just an example of like how my efforts to clean or keep it together are just lost with my children.
Futile.
I walk in his room, which was clean like approximately 3.4 seconds earlier, and there's these like brown wood chips all over the floor.
What?
And I look at him and I go, "What happened?" And he looks at me with a dead straight face and he goes, "I shaved my pet pine cone."
Of course I did.
I shaved my pet pine cone. Why do you have a pine cone? Why is it your pet? Why did so many questions? But this is boys, man. They just bring the outside inside. Rocks, sticks, pine cones, acorns. Yeah. My house is full of this junk.
Of course it is.
And no matter how quickly I get rid of it, it's back.
Were you mildly entertained or no? Sounds like you weren't.
I was so amused that he said it with such a straight face. Like that was like, what a stupid question you're asking me, Mom.
Yeah, Mom, pretty obvious.
I shaved my pet pine cone. I was like, well, this is why I can't have a clean house or nice things. Right here.
And you know what? When I share those frustrations, my wife goes, just remember, before we know it, it's going to be really, really quiet around here.
Oh, that's sweet. I don't think that in that moment. I just think, pick up the wood chips. Well, I need to think that.
Yeah, well, you don't realize. She says that, and I know that she means that, and I go, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, like counting down.
Yeah, you're
counting down the day.
It's exactly right. Right? Where I walk into a room and the light is off because no one's in it.
Yeah.
There's a novel idea, Kelly. You know what I'm talking about. You got teens.
There is something about it where I have tried to flip my focus to see. Often we I talk about this in the seasons, actually, in the book. We focus on the good in our past and the good in the future, but we miss the good in our present. And so I'll see the finger smudges on the window, and I think, oh gosh, I wish my house was clean, but I'm going to miss those footy pajamas and snuggles. So I try to remember, this is symbolic of the season, and there's good in that season. So we need to focus on the good, no matter what.
Kelly, you were going to say something?
Or that I'll walk into a room and the TV won't be on.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, because they just leave the room.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay, so since we're on this, my number one pet peeve is I walk into our bonus room, and the TV's on, not a kid anywhere near it, and the reclining chair left open. They think they get out of that, and they don't shut the recliner part.
How do they get out? With it still
because they're teenagers and nothing makes sense.
Nothing makes sense. So anyway, we digress. But I guess we wanted to share that so you people know that we feel your pain.
If you're struggling, we're struggling in it with you, with your time, with your kids, with your relationships, your money, whatever. We're here for you to empathize and hopefully give you some advice.
Exactly. So how about young Mitchell? I like where we're going here, Christy. Mitchell in Minneapolis, Minnesota. How can we help?
Yeah, I just have a quick question.
Sure.
So I'm 17 and I have about $25,000, but I'm not too exactly sure what to do with it.
Wow, good for you.
Way to go, first of all.
Yeah.
Did someone give you this money or did you work and save it up?
Work.
Way to go. Mitchell, how'd you earn that money?
Right now I'm an apprentice electrician and I work on the road.
Come on.
You're awesome, Mitchell.
Hey, when did you start that program? How old were you?
Just apprentice electrician. I've only been doing it for roughly 2 months.
Are you in high school still?
Construction jobs. Yes.
Good for you, man.
That's amazing.
Wow.
Well, I got a couple more questions, and then I'll tell you what you probably should do with it at your age, and that's being the biggest factor here. Are you planning to go to college?
Not necessarily, but maybe a community college.
Okay, well, cool. Well, here my answer is going to be the same whether you go to college or not because of your age, Mitchell. So you are at a very transitional, not even really transitional yet, but about to be transitional stage in your life between 18 and 25, 26. There's a lot of life changes that happen there. Possibly college, whether it's community college or undergrad degree, or even if you decide to pursue other school or specialty school, that type of thing, certifications, credentials. Possibly might want to buy a house, possibly might want to get married. And I'm talking about in this time frame between 17 and 26 or so on. So what I would do as mathematically counterintuitive as it may seem is I would just leave it in a savings account for right now, because what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to access that money, and the best way to access it is in a savings account. You're going to want to access it for any of those things, whether it's paying for school, paying for books, paying for a house down payment or whatever, but you're doing awesome.
Yeah.
Just keep saving, keep funding that money. And then when you're in your mid to late 20s and some of these major life transitions are behind you, hopefully you'll still be debt free at that point. And then you would just begin to follow the baby steps, which at that point you're going to build a fully funded emergency fund and possibly start investing and that type of thing at that point. But right now you're doing awesome. Hold on to it for any life changes that might come your way soon. Way to
Add to it.
Way to go.
Keep pouring on the cash. Christy, I love this. Young man who's in the trades, he's apprenticing, he's made money. This young man's probably going to start a business.
He's got options.
And he's going to be a multi-millionaire employing a lot of people doing great trade work. Way to go, young man. Thank you so much for the call. All right, she is Christy Wright. I'm Ken Coleman. This is The Ramsey Show.
We were drawn to Christian Healthcare Ministries because we both had young families and we wanted to have more children. And we had also just started a real estate company and needed to find healthcare coverage that would meet our needs. We were attracted to CHM because of its low monthly costs and the ability to negotiate medical costs down.
Established in 1981 and accredited by the Better Business Bureau, CHM is here to meet the needs of your growing family or small business. Check us out at chministries.org/budget.
We absolutely believe in it.
Welcome back to The Ramsey Show, America. Thrilled to have you with us as we talk about your life. Christy Wright is my colleague. She joins me here in the studio. I'm Ken Coleman. We're thrilled to be with you. We're Ramsey personalities. We host shows by our names. Very creative. We came up with the Christy Wright Show and the Ken Coleman Show after just hours and hours of just unbelievable brainstorming. That's what we came up with. But we're thrilled to have you with us. It is a free call. 888-825-5225, 888-825-5225. Let's go to Jamie now in Savannah, Georgia. Jamie, how can we help?
Hi, Ken. Thanks for taking my call.
You bet.
So I have a question. I have a great job right now, but I got a little curious and I applied for a company, and they actually accepted me. Now I love everything about the job that I'm doing now, my question is, do I leave the job with the company that I love to go and make more money, or do I stay with the company now, even though there isn't that much of an opportunity for growth?
Okay, that's the issue. So it's never about money. It's got to be about opportunity to move up, to climb up the ladder. So it feels like there's a lid, even though this is a great company and you love the people, it feels like you got a lid where you are currently, correct?
I do, because it's like, gosh, it's a great place to work.
Yeah. But it's a small family-owned company. Mm-hmm. But I don't like corporate either. Okay. I hate the HR. I hate I've never gotten along with corporate. I've always been happy with smaller businesses. And I'm just like, but I'm also contemplating on this job because at my age, I feel like I'm very financially behind too. So I'm like, do I just grow up, put my big girl pants on and take this job? All right. So let's ask this question.
Or do I stay with a company that I love?
Well, I think long term, you're not going to stay at the company you are currently at. You're just not. You know it and I know it. So the question becomes, we don't want to be tempted by money only. So the question becomes, is this new job opportunity only about money, or would it put you on the right ladder and allow you to climb down the road?
Well, it'll definitely allow me to climb. Like I'm
doing what you want to do?
Doing what I want to do.
Yeah, there's the answer.
That's the thing too. It's like right now I have so many more. Like I love what I do at this job now. I have more variety and everything. But at this corporate job, I'll pretty much kind of just be like on a production line for the year, and then I'll move up into a more advancement type opportunity. But then I don't have job security with this new job because they like to hire contractors and drop people off after they just during COVID, they fired a lot of people. Okay. But then Jamie,
you don't want this job.
Yeah, you keep trying to talk yourself into a paycheck. You're telling
me why you don't want this job. We don't even have to answer this for you. You already know the answer. You don't want it.
Yeah. And so you pass. You pass. Here's why.
But I feel so stupid though, because as far as as far as the money goes, it just.
Let me break it down.
You can pursue that somewhere else at another small business. This is not the only opportunity to make more money.
So let me just tell you something. Yeah. You need to stay where you are until you find the next step towards the thing you actually want to do, the kind of work you want to do, which I think you're doing a good bit of right now at this smaller company, but you are limited. So you want to stay and say no to the pay. Now here's why, and I want to break this down. Christy, I hear this all the time on the Ken Coleman Show. It feels so counterintuitive. She almost feels like, I know, Christy, you're right, because you called her out on it, but she's going, but I feel like I'd be stupid to turn down a bigger paycheck. And I understand that. That is a psychological hurdle, but here's the reality. She's going to if she takes that job, she's on that assembly line maybe 6 weeks, and she didn't even make it to advancement because she's miserable. Right. So in this situation, Jamie, let's say no to the good so we can say yes to the best. And I think for now, it's okay. I'm going to pass on the paycheck only, but now I'm going to get serious. As Christy said, there are other smaller company environments where you can do the kind of work that you love and grow and make the money. So this is one of those deals where we have to say no to the shiny object, because it's not going to be that shiny after the high of the paycheck wears off.
Not only that, but let's just put the paycheck aside for just a second and even talk about the opportunity, because I love how you were asking her about that. If we're not careful, and I see a lot of people do this, even if they can let go of the paycheck piece of it, the idea of progress, promotion, a higher position, forward advancement, whatever, is so appealing, because we are wired for progress as humans, for sure. But what happens is we say yes to the position or promotion and don't realize that we're making progress in a company we hate.
Yes.
So you're just advancing in an environment you don't want to be in.
Climbing a ladder you don't want to be on. And then they call you and go, well, they call me and they go, well, I got stuck in this thing. No, really, you got yourself stuck.
Right.
You walked right into it.
Right. But here's what's so great about this. And Jamie, I want you to see this in the moment that you're in and making this decision. This is an awesome position to be in, because you've realized you might want something different, and you can begin to pursue that in the right company, in the right position, with more pay. Right. It's not this one, but it has maybe lit something in you to go, hey, I might want to start looking for something new. And that's an awesome thing to learn about yourself, and it's going to take you down this path, which King Coleman walks you through with his path. You're starting to get more clear about what you want, and that's going to be great information as you pursue this.
Yeah, I want to. I gotta share this with you, Christy.
Yeah.
New York Times headline today: workers in demand have a new demand of their own, a career path. Mark Ray was working at a concession stand at a movie theater when the pandemic hit last year. The movie theater, of course, shut down. He loses his job. But instead of looking for another low-wage job, Ray seeks a different path. So he goes and gets a class in basic technology business skills, completed it, and gets a job at a fast-growing online company. He started this last March, working in a customer service and tech support job. Now he makes $55,000 a year compared with $17,000 at a movie theater. And it made me think about what you just said. His quote in the New York Times said, "The pandemic weirdly was an opportunity, and this job is a huge stepping stone for me." I'm seeing more and more of this, that the pandemic forced change on people.
Mm-hmm. Makes them question the status quo.
Yeah, and so now you go, well, wait a second. Where else do I want to make change? If this amount of change has been forced on me and I didn't die, because change is so horrifying.
Sure.
Where else can I make changes? And when you said that, it made me think of this story I shared earlier today on my show. But we've got 40% of workers that were in the nation's hospitality industry saying they're not going back.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know why? Because they're going, I'm going to pivot.
Yeah. Well, and you make a good point, too, because whether it is the pandemic or some other life change or whatever that forces you to look at your life differently, when you have that moment, you start to, it's like this light bulb moment of going, oh, I didn't know I wanted that. I didn't know I wanted a job that had XYZ or made, in Jamie's case, I didn't know I wanted a company where it made more money and had more advancement until once I was aware of it, well, now I can't not pursue it. And that awareness, whether it's from the pandemic and that example in the New York Times or Jamie's example, there's something really powerful when we realize that we want more, because then it activates us to pursue it versus just surviving, keeping your head above water, going to a job you hate, making $17,000 a year. Man, when something wakes you up to more, it ignites you to go pursue it.
You see that all the time with the ladies you coach in Business Boutique and helping them start a business. They're the ones that make it.
Yes.
When it's like a more thing, it's a why thing. It's like, ooh.
Yeah. You know what? I heard the coolest quote from a woman last week. I ran into her and she said, I think she was actually here at the office. She said, I came to your Business Boutique conference, which if y'all don't know, we do a conference every October. We're doing it again this October 14th through the 16th. But she said, I came to your conference and her quote, I didn't know I had a business in me.
Yeah.
And you showed me I had one in me.
Oh.
And now I'm running my business and I love it. And I'm oh my God. And you're going,
all over.
That is so cool.
It is, yeah.
That this moment showed you something you wanted, something more for your life, and then you went after it. I love that.
I open every day on the show. You were created to fill a unique role. You were needed. You must do it. I love that. I didn't know I had a business in me.
Mm-hmm. Isn't that good?
She's got purpose. She's got a why. I love it. Really good stuff. All right. Hey, she's Chrissy Wright. I'm Ken Coleman. It's a free call. 888-825-5225. I just feel like somebody needs to call today. We're sitting here for you. Come on. Let's go. This is The Ramsey Show. Show. I'm Ken Coleman. I'm joined by my colleague, Christy Wright, and we are taking your calls this hour, 888-825-5225, 888-825-5225. Auto insurance companies love to play the game where they see just how high they can jack up your rates for no reason. That's always fun, isn't it? Well, the good news is it's not hard to beat them at their own game. All you got to do is check up on your policy every year or two and make sure you're getting the best price for your coverage. That's it. And what's even easier, and not to mention free, is that you can hire one of our endorsed local provider or ELP insurance agents to do this for you. ELPs are independent agents who shop to find you the best coverage free of charge. They don't work for one insurance company, meaning they've got the freedom to shop as many policies as it takes to find the one that's right for you. Don't sit back while your insurance company raises your rates. Text the word auto to 33789. That's auto. Text that to 33789 and put a trusted ELP agent on your team. Text auto to 33789. All right, Christy, I see here we've got Matthew and Rachel on the line in Frederick, Maryland for a debt-free screen. Matthew and Rachel, hello.
Hello.
Hi.
How's it going, guys?
Going good.
So you are debt-free. All right. Tell us, how much did you pay off?
We paid off $57,000 in 14 months.
Whoa.
Wow. Way to go.
And how much income? What was the income range during the time?
So the range was about $110,000 to $125,000.
Okay.
Awesome.
What do you guys do?
September 29th.
I think you misunderstood.
Oh, I
But
thought you
let's-
asked what are we doing? We're having a baby.
Hey!
That is not even what we were asking, but that is
No.
even better
Super
answer.
excited.
Congratulations, you guys.
Yeah, that was my fault. I should have said, what do you guys do for a living? That would have been a little clearer.
Well,
There you go.
congratulations.
We're so used to getting that due question.
I know.
I'm a general manager at a small retail business.
Awesome.
And I work at my family's construction management business.
Awesome. Well, congratulations on the baby. Is this your first?
It
Yeah.
is.
Oh,
boy.
congratulations, you guys.
I feel
we're
like,
we're about 5 weeks away now.
oh my gosh.
You're so close.
Oh, there they. Oh, that's beautiful.
Y'all are so cute. That's amazing.
I feel like I should tell you on behalf of Christy and I.
this better be
together.
positive or I'm going to cut you off.
It's very positive.
Okay.
That you need to get some rest. Some extra naps to store up before the little one arrives. That's very exciting.
Oh my gosh.
I've been hearing.
Well, how cool, you guys, that y'all paid off your debt before your
Yes.
first baby is here. Tell us the story. Let's go back to 14 months ago. What happened that got you on this journey?
So, truthfully, we got engaged and bought a house. And, you know, as I'm sitting up one night, I'm thinking about, you know, my debt, our debt, you know, Dave with the pronouns, changing it from mine to ours, and just really thinking about the future. And really, truthfully, this moment of having a baby came into my mind of, you know, just my responsibilities if Rachel got pregnant and maybe wasn't able to work, and just to not have that burden. It has been such a relief to be able to really focus on the future and being a good provider for our family. So that kind of started it, and then it took some convincing to get Rachel on board.
Oh, okay. So I want to hear that story, but before you do, what kind of debt was it?
So the debt was your typical stuff that you guys probably hear every day: credit card debt, 2 car loans, and student loans.
Wow.
Okay. All right. So you have this light bulb moment when you're engaged. You're thinking about the future, thinking about Rachel, a future baby, all the things. You're like, we got to get this cleaned up. Rachel, you weren't having it. Tell me about it.
It wasn't necessarily that I wasn't having it because I totally trust my husband, but I was just nervous that we were going to have to really drastically change our way of life and like how we were living and like be much more stingy.
Sure.
And, you know, I'm the spender in this couple. So
I knew that without you saying it, Rachel.
You know, I like to go shopping. And so I was nervous about that, like how it was going to change things. I didn't want to compromise our lifestyle right now for a future that I couldn't see yet, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So that was kind of why I was hesitant.
How long did it take for you to go from that to, okay, I'm all in?
Not very long. How long would you say it took me?
I would say it was not necessarily immediate, but I'm in business development and sales, so
He had a good pitch.
Yeah, I like this.
He knew how to present it right.
All right, so let's go.
Yeah.
Let's stay there, Rachel. So you were afraid you were going to have to adjust your lifestyle, and I'm looking at $57,000 paid off in 14 months. You clearly did. So what? How did you change your lifestyle?
I mean, honestly, yeah, the big thing was less eating out because we were so used to doing that.
Yeah.
And so but having a house together, now we were living together, like that helped because early on we weren't, we were living far apart. So every time we would see each other, we would be going out to eat. So we changed our lifestyle in that way, which was a good thing. And honestly, like my husband put together a wonderful budget spreadsheet, and he was able to show me and teach me like where our money was going. So I had more of an understanding of how much I was spending because before I met him, I was never tracking what I was spending.
Yeah.
So I had no idea.
Awesome.
And so then when I saw it in front of me, I was like, oh, I guess I don't really need to be going to get my nails done so often. Or like I was able to visually see how I could change things without it being too drastic.
Yeah, that makes sense. I don't know that we've ever run a study or correlation between the spouses that are the more reluctant one, whether it takes them 5 seconds or 5 years to get on board, and them being the spender. Because I would be willing to bet 100% of the spouses that don't want to get on board are the spenders. I'm the spender because you don't want to adjust your lifestyle. It's hard to make sacrifice. You're like, spending is fun. Budgets seem boring. I don't want to do that. So I bet there's a direct correlation there, Rachel, of the spouses that are the spenders that also might be the ones that are a little more reluctant. But you're right, because when you can see it, you can see, oh, wow, it's not so much that it's going to take away all the fun forever. It's just a lifestyle change with more intentionality in the short term in order to get to your goal. And you guys did that. That is awesome. Okay.
Now she can do her nails as much as she wants.
No,
That's right.
Good move, Matthew.
Hey, well played.
Attaboy.
Well played, Matthew.
Who are your biggest cheerleaders?
Who are our cheerleaders? You asked?
Yeah.
So truthfully, a lot of it was each other.
That's good.
I think in the beginning, when we told our family and friends, I think. Can you hear us still?
Oh, you're back. Yeah, we lost you for a second, but you're back. Told your family and friends.
Sorry about that. In the beginning, I think what I was saying was we were our biggest supporters and cheerleaders.
Yeah.
But our family supported us, but I think there was a lot of questions like, how are you guys even going to do this?
Right.
But then when I started to explain, it became a lot more clear, and I think, our families have all been on board and our friends, and, the more we talk about it, it's kind of funny where we tell people about our plan and they say, oh, wow, I've heard of Dave Ramsey. We're on this plan or we're on this plan. So I think it's just opening up the conversation has really helped a lot of our friends kind of start their own journey. So I think we're big advocates for it because it works.
Yeah.
We're the living example that it works.
Yeah, we hear that a lot. When someone gets debt-free, their family, their friends, they start asking, well, how did you do it? Even the family and friends that were skeptical at first. What's the secret? If someone's listening right now and they're on the fence on if they should really go all in on this debt snowball, debt-free plan, what's the secret? What made it possible for you guys?
I mean, the pitch that Matthew gave me was the 3 Ps: prayer, patience, and persistence.
Wow.
Okay, well, let's write that down. I love it.
Yeah, we stuck to that because he was like, he's always saying, you got to be patient, you got to trust me. Like, I have a plan. But at the end of the day, like, my parents instilled this in me, too, that God will provide. And we just have to continue to pray that he has his plan and that he'll reveal his plan to us if we just keep
I love it.
doing what we're doing.
You guys are awesome.
Yeah.
All right, so here we go. We've got Matthew and Rachel on the line in Frederick, Maryland. It was about prayer, patience, and persistence. $57,000 in 14 months, going from $110,000 to $125,000. Matthew and Rachel, let's hear a debt-free scream.
All right, we're ready. 3, 2, 1. We're debt-free!
Yes, they are. I love that, Christy. Prayer, patience, persistence, 3 Ps.
Hey, that's what you need for anything in life. Let's just someone stitch that on a pillow. You need that in anything in life.
Everything's better with alliteration. I'd like to point that out.
You remember
well
more.
done, Matthew. 3 Ps. That'll work. Really great couple. That's what it's all about. They did it, and you can do it. Don't move. More Ramsey Show coming right up. Welcome back to the Ramsey Show, America. Thrilled to have you with us as we talk about your life. Christy Wright is my co-host. I'm Ken Coleman. We're Ramsey Personalities, and we are here for you to take your calls. 888-825-5225. 888-825-5225. I've got to mention this really quick because this is kind of a unique situation really for Ramsey Solutions as we put out more and more content and it affects us. We both have books out right now for pre-sale. So I'm going to talk about yours if you'll talk about mine. Is it fair?
Yes, but I think people need to know we've never done this as a company.
Ever.
That we have released 2 books at the same time, which is really exciting. And it just shows the growth and the demand out there for getting help in these different areas of their life.
They complement each other. They're different messaging, but equally important. Christy's book is Take Back Your Time, the Guilt-Free Guide to Life Balance. And this comes from your own life, which is always the best when you're trying to manage so much. You're a successful businesswoman, coach, author, broadcaster. Oh, by the way, 3 kiddos, hubs, a dog, all the things, right? And the reality is that this is a book that is really helping people see that balance isn't this, this mysterious thing and it's going to be all perfect. It's really, my favorite thing is it's about doing the right thing at the right time. And I think there's so much freedom in that concept. There's so much more in it. But it's a fabulous book, and it's available for pre-sale right now, RamseySolutions.com. If you pre-order it, there's all kinds of amazing goodies. This is what we do. We give people a ton of free stuff, including the audiobook and the ebook and all the things. And the book actually hits really soon.
Yeah, so September 14th is the launch. And then here's what's cool. If you buy it in pre-order and you get the audiobook and ebook and all that good stuff, a private Facebook group with me and all that, you also get a ticket to my live event in September. Yes. And here's a fun fact. I shared this week. It's on September 16th, so it's 2 days after launch. That also is my daughter's 2nd birthday. So you want to talk about living out life balance in real life.
Please tell me that little sweet princess will show up on stage at some point, maybe for a dance party.
She may or may not be making an appearance. I'm like, how can I
flatten the room?
How can I work her into this?
All right, I love that. So really exciting stuff.
So yeah, but you're right. It's just such a struggle, and so we're trying to bring a message of freedom to an area where people feel guilty. But what's interesting is, and awesome. I think this has been really fun for us to release these books at the same time because this is a topic I've talked about for 10 years. Your book, Ken, From Paycheck to Purpose, this is all about finding your dream job, the path to work that you love. You've been talking about that even longer. How long have you been coaching people in their career?
8 to 10 years. I started doing it in Atlanta before I got here, just because it was something that this book is born out of my own journey. When I thought politics was my future, and at the age of 33 realized it wasn't. And then what did I do? Did I blow it? Did I waste my life up to this point? How do I figure it out? And then through self-reflection and some really great guides around me, learned how to get clear, which is the first stage of the 7 stages. And the rest of the stages really came through my journey to get into broadcast, a very tough field, as you know, and just kind of work your way through it.
It's interesting. There are people listening right now and they know they need this book. And so we'll tell them how to get it. But there are some people listening right now that don't know that they need it. And here's what I want you to speak to really quickly. I want you to speak to the person that has never, ever enjoyed their work. Yeah. They have always just done either what was available or what they needed to do to get by. They collected a paycheck. So Ken, you know this from anything. If you've never experienced something, it's very difficult to believe it exists. Yeah. It's very difficult to explain to someone or make someone believe that is so disheartened about work that you could actually look forward to Monday. Yeah. You could actually have fun at your job and to get paid for it. I want you to speak to that person that does not believe that's out there really quickly.
Yeah, so it's very simple. If you use what you do best, your talent, and you do work you love, I define that as passion, and you produce results that matter deeply to you, there's a value connection. That's mission. When you're in alignment, talent, passion, and mission, it's unbelievable. You got the juice, as I like to say, because you're operating obviously with talent, but you actually love the work and the result matters deeply. That's all it is. And when that happens, for many people, they've never experienced that. They're largely treating a job as something I do to get a paycheck. Yeah. And that's why we chose the title, From Paycheck to Purpose. We want people to realize that they can make the income they need, bigger shovel, get out of debt, fund the future of your kids, great trips, whatever. But also do work that matters deeply to you. You and I both get to do that. Yeah. We're good at the work, but it's not about talent. Right. It's really about loving the work and producing a result that when you go home at the end of the day in a tough day and you go, I produce results that matter to me.
Yeah.
And therein lies the significant contribution you were created to make.
Well, and there are some people too that they're not aware that is in them, but it is. I hear you say this all the time when you talk to people. So inside of each of us is that talent, is that mission, is that purpose. Yeah. And it may be dormant. It may have collected dust for a couple decades, but it's still in there. And I've seen you coach people. I've watched videos of you coaching people. And when you peel away the layers and ask these questions that help them tap into that, their eyes fill with tears because they are then, like we were talking about a minute ago, aware of something they wanted, they didn't even know they wanted, and something that's possible that they didn't even know it's possible. So, and I love that in this book, though, you don't just give them the inspiration of like rah, you can do it, you can, have you walk them through very tactical steps of step 1, step 2, step 3, and so on, of how to pursue it. It's very tactical.
Yeah, it's not enough to know what it is, you got to do it. The reality is that we were created to contribute. So it's the 7 stages, and really, really excited about it, from people to realize that there is, in fact, purpose in your work, not just a job. And so fun stuff, fun times.
RamseySolutions.com.
There it is. All the goodies there.
Yep.
Same deal. Get it for $20. You get all kinds of goodies. The audiobook, ebook, same kind of deal there. And so I get both of them. I think that they're wonderful tools. And so there you go. We're really proud of the work because we have lived it. And I think that's the one thing. I want to buy something from somebody that's actually walked in it, not just kind of, I just learned
not
about
just theory.
it.
Yep.
And so really, really good stuff there. The number to jump in is 888-825-5225. 888-825-5225. We were talking about this, and I want to stay on this topic because I think there are a lot of people right now that are listening, and they hear us talk a little bit about the purpose side of things, but they're not thinking purpose in working for someone else. They're going, like you talked about before, a lady came up to you recently and said, I didn't realize until I came to Business Boutique that there was a business in me. And a lot of people want to work for themselves. We're seeing more of this because of the pandemic.
Right.
A lot more. We're also seeing an interesting wave coming from the mosaics. That's called the Gen Z, if you will, that they want to start businesses largely right out of school or even out of high school. That why, that purpose, that solving a problem. How do you help people identify the business idea?
Well, I like to make it simple, like we do with anything here. So I actually have a course I created on that, but the very short version of the answer is start with what you have. Yeah. So your skills, your strengths, and your stuff. Your skills are your education, credentials, things you're trained to do. Your strengths are just things you're good at. You've never been trained, but you're good at it. And your stuff, what do you have around you to already work with? And these 3 areas are going to be a great starting point to inspire you to brainstorm things that you can do. But the great thing about starting a business from home or a side business or freelance work is there's not a lot of pressure when you do it the way that I teach you to, which is to start small and grow slow, because you're not spending a ton of money. You're not, going and getting an education in this thing that's not even proven. You're just going to try it. That might mean you're going to post on Facebook, hey, I'm going to do some freelance writing. If you know of anyone, let me know. It might be emailing family and friends. Hey, I think I'm going to start fitness coaching or, whatever that thing is. And it starts so simple and small. But what's interesting is I love how Dave Ramsey says business is a conversation with the marketplace. Yep. When you put something out there, the marketplace responds and they say, hey, yes, we need this, or more of this, less of this. And you begin to engage, and then that informs what you're supposed to do. Yep. You know more of what you're supposed to do by engaging with the market. But if you wait till it's perfect to do anything or take any step, you'll never do anything. Yeah. So start with what you have, your skills, your strengths, your stuff. Let that inspire you to brainstorm things that you could do from home on your own terms, make extra money, call your own shots.
Just tell people, hey, I'm doing this. I'm building cabinets. Anybody want some cabinets? You don't have to have this giant business plan. I love what you say.
Just get scrappy.
Just get out there and start showing people your work.
Scrappy wins over sophisticated every time. Ooh, we think we have to be so sophisticated. No, just get scrappy. Yeah. Just get scrappy. Make it work.
By the way, Scrappy the dog, remember him? Cartoons, Saturday morning. You don't remember Scrappy?
No.
Oh, great little cartoon character. Look him up. Hey, I want to thank our producer, Ben Hill, our associate producer and call screener, Kelly Daniel, my colleague and co-host this hour, Christy Wright, but mostly you, America. Thank you so much for joining us. This is The Ramsey Show.
have a friend or family member that needs a daily dose of Ramsey advice in their life? Let them know about the Ramsey Call of the Day podcast. It's a quick hit of advice about life and money in under 10 minutes. Check out the Ramsey Call of the Day podcast wherever you listen to podcasts. This is The Ramsey Show. You can be intentional about your character. You can have money and a career. You are the hero in your story.
Live from the headquarters of Ramsey Solutions, broadcasting from the Dollar Car Rental Studio, this is The Ramsey Show. It's where America hangs out to have a conversation about your life. I'm Ken Coleman. I'm joined by my colleague, Christy Wright. And we're thrilled to be together today as we take your calls, 888-825-5225, 888-825-5225. We're here for you. If you've got a question, we're going to walk you through it. I promise you, there is hope. There is a clear path for you to move forward. And so we are excited to have your call, 888-825-5225. Let's get it started this hour in Cincinnati, Ohio. Cynthia joins us there. Cynthia, how can we help?
Hi, how are you guys?
We're having a blast. What's going on?
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I am the nerd in my family, and I am married to a very reasonable free spirit.
I like this setup.
He sprung on me about 6 weeks ago that at some point in the near future he would like to buy a used sports car in the $20,000 range.
Okay.
And I just kind of want to see if we're in a position that we can do that for him.
Well, walk us through where you are and why you might be a little nervous about it.
Well, because I'm the nerd, that's why I'm nervous.
Yeah.
He's 64, I'm 50, so he's closer to retirement, about a 4-year plan. Our assets are in the $950,000 range.
Wow.
And I think we can do it. I'm pretty sure we can. I just want to...
Well, what baby step are you on?
We're like on 7. We don't have a mortgage.
Cynthia.
I'm going to let you take over here. Woman to woman. Christy, take it away.
Cynthia, you already know what I'm going to say.
Yeah.
Cynthia, you're almost millionaires. You're on baby step 7, and you're asking about a used $20,000 car for fun for your husband who's almost retired. Cynthia, what am I going to say?
Yes. You're going to say yes.
Yes, I am. Now, listen, I love that you acknowledged up front that you're the nerd, and so you're nervous. Like, you connected those. It's not I'm the nerd, and then in a separate conversation, you're nervous. It's like, no, you're nervous because you're the nerd. Nerds are just nervous. Y'all are just nervous all the time. You don't like to spend money. Matt can want something. Matt's the nerd in our marriage, and he can want something, and we can have the money for it, and he still does not like letting go of money. And that's a wonderful gift because y'all are on baby step 7 because of you, Cynthia. Listen, you are the ones that kept y'all focused and on track. So well done.
Yeah.
But listen, you did that hard work and you've been responsible so that you can enjoy it. And so, yes, can you afford it? Yes. Should you buy it? Yes. All the answers to all your questions are yes.
Absolutely.
Can we bump it up another couple thousand?
Yes.
Yes.
And can I just add one thing? Christy's giving you great advice. Can I just add one little thing? Would you please enjoy it with him?
Yes, have fun.
Would you go, babe, I can't wait to go shopping for the $22,000 sports car.
We're crazy.
And then let's go. Let's put the top down, and I want my hair to blow all over the place. Like, you need to really celebrate it.
I can't drive a stick, so I don't even know if I can drive the
I didn't say that you were driving it. I said you just ride with him and enjoy it as a couple.
You can ride.
Yeah. That's awesome. Cynthia, you're great. Thank you so much for the call.
What a fun question.
Yeah,
because
really
those
fun.
are the kind of calls you want because you want to show this is what life is like when you do save up and you're on baby step 7 and you have no debt. Yeah, you can spend your money. Please do. Please
live like
have fun.
no one else so that later you can live and give like no one else. So the live is a sports car.
Have some fun.
And you're giving away as well. So wonderful, wonderful call. And I think it's going to be really fun to see them. Take some pictures, share it, really enjoy it, Cynthia, because this is a big deal for your hubs too. He's worked hard, and this is going to be a lot of fun. All right, let's go to Chicago, Illinois next, and Sean is there. Sean, how can we help?
How are you guys doing?
We're having a blast. What's going on?
Oh, that's awesome. So I had a question about moving out. So I'm 23 years old. I've actually never been on my own. I've actually always lived with my with my parents, and so far it was going well. I'm working full time now, but I just wanted to ask you, based on my financial situation, would I be able to move out with the rising rental costs of apartments?
Tell us your financial situation.
How much money do you make?
Yeah. So I currently make around $56,000 annually. So after taxes and 401ks and benefits, I would make around like 40-ish. I do want to bring this up, but I did have student loans. I graduated last year, and I had student loans, and they would slap me in the face. I did buy a car for $28,000 in November, but as of June, I paid both of those off. So, and I'm completely debt free. So I just wanted to know. Yeah, thank you very much. So I just wanted to know, with the rising rental costs, it's just a little concerning about me going on my own. I've never had that experience, and I just need to have confidence whether I could actually afford it or not. So what do you guys think?
Yeah, Sean, so because you've never lived on your own, it's scary to you, but that's not going to be a reason that's going to stop you, because you're a man, okay? You're not a boy, you're not a guy, you're not a dude. You're a man that makes a really good income that's debt-free. You should not be living at home. Yeah. And so here, now how you go about it, totally up to you. You could find a really, maybe a family friend that has a rental property, and so you know the landlord. You get a roommate. You ease yourself into this transition in any way that you want to, but absolutely you should move out. The rental costs are not even a factor for me, because what you're going to do is you're going to find something you can afford, because moving out is that important. It's not like, oh, well, I'll move out if I can find something, that's in my desired area and XYZ, all this criteria. No. You're going to move out because you're a man that's debt-free with a good income that has no reason to be living at home whatsoever. And so that we're going to go ahead and make that definitive. And then within that assumption, we're going to say, okay, now what can we afford on your income? So you're going to look for either an apartment or a house. Feel free to get a roommate. I've actually, in my 20s when I was single, I had multiple roommates, some of which I knew and some of which I was paired with and didn't know. And some were more awesome than others, for sure, but all of it's a learning experience, and none of it's forever. So if you want to split costs in that way, get a roommate, you can go about that. But absolutely, I think that this is a necessity for you. And what it's going to do for you, Sean, aside from relieve your fears of being on your own, is it's going to give you a completely different level of dignity and independence and confidence that is going to pour over in every aspect of your life, from your job to dating to goals and your finances. I mean, this is so important for you. So yes, you should move out, and you figure out how to make the finances work. If you need to make more money or find a cheaper apartment or roommate, you do that, because it's time to go.
Yeah, and Sean, this is almost a silly fear, and you have to own that it's silly, because you just paid off a bunch of debt. You know how to be responsible with your money. So I don't know what your specific fear is, but you need to own it. I'm afraid that I can't afford it. That's silly unless you try to rent a penthouse in downtown Chicago. But Christy just laid it out for you. And so you've got this, man. There's nothing to be afraid of. Be responsible, and you're going to be okay. Fly, little bird, fly. I also want to point out that, Christy,
don't let him call you a little bird. No, go back to what I said. You're a man. I want to give him the man.
I was going to point out that you just told him, man up, in your really nice way. I was like, wow, ouch. Older sister Christy just put a boot to his hind end. I think he's packing as we speak. I can hear the tape ripping right now. Good stuff. Hey, she's Christy Wright. I'm Ken Coleman. This is The Ramsey Show. Don't go anywhere. More coming right up.
Stop paying your overpriced wireless provider and switch to Pure Talk. They use the same network as the larger providers for much less. For just $30 a month, get unlimited talk, text, and 6 gigs of data with no contract. The average family saves over $70 a month by switching to Pure Talk. Just go to puretalk.com and enter the promo code Ramsey to save 50% off your first month. Pure Talk, simply smarter wireless.
back, America. You are listening to The Ramsey Show. I'm Ken Coleman, joined by my colleague, Christy Wright. And before we went to the break, we took a call from a young man who was 23, just paid off a bunch of debt, makes about 40-ish a year, his words.
Yeah,
take home. And he was debating whether or not it was the right move for him to move out and live on his own. And you told him at least 3 times, "You're a man. You're a man." And then you had a really funny thought. You're like, "Oh, I wish I'd have told him this." So I thought, I got to tee you up to tell everybody.
Well, we ran out of time, but here's what I was going to say. If you won't do it for you, moving out is what I was referring to. If you want to do it for you, do it for the potential of a future spouse. Because let's say you meet some really awesome girl and she's like, "Where do you live?" And you're like, "At home with mom and dad." That's not cool. Nobody thinks that's cool. That's not cool in anybody's book. So if you want to do it for you, do it for the potential of an awesome girl you might meet. Hey, I mean, we see people get out of debt. So like, man, I wasn't really motivated for me, but maybe for my kids, I feel like I need to do it or whatever. Even if it's for someone else, I don't really care why you do the right thing. Just do the right thing. I don't care if someone else motivates you. Just do the right thing.
For whatever reason, while you were saying that, I had the image of Failure to Launch with Matthew McConaughey and Sarah Jessica Parker.
When I was talking to him.
Fantastic
I thought of that
movie.
exact movie.
Yeah.
I was going to say,
You're Sarah Jessica. You're trying to get him out.
I wanted to say, get out of the house. I think your version was Fly Little Bird. But either way, you got to go. If it's a gentle small bird or me shoving you out, you got to go. It's time to go.
Oh, so much fear around money. If you're struggling with money, it's easy to tell yourself that you'll deal with it later or you'll start fresh in the new year, but later rolls around, you still feel out of control. Stop. Decide right now that this is the last month that you'll ever worry about money again. If you do, we want to help. That's why for this month only, we're knocking $30 off the 12-month membership to our most impactful, life-changing money products. With a Ramsey Plus membership, you get access to Financial Peace University, our step-by-step plan to save money, pay off debt, and build wealth. Plus, you get the premium version of our budgeting tool, Every Dollar, to help you put that plan into action. You deserve a life free of monthly payments and constant money stress. Start your free trial of Ramsey Plus today by texting TRIAL to 33789. That's TRIAL. Text that to 33789. Let's go to Austin, Texas now. Sarah joins us. Sarah, how can we help?
Hi there. How are you? So I worked the past 5 years with a nonprofit that I love. I'm passionate about their mission. People, culture are great. There's plenty of work-life flexibility. And they're also a leader in an industry field that I love, which is women's health. Mm-hmm. But for the past months, I've been looking into roles in the private sector because I wanted to get better compensated, and I just didn't see opportunity for advancement and promotion in my organization. So I recently got an offer from a firm to join as a consultant in an area of expertise, which is just focused on health. It would be a really big salary bump, like 70% more salary. And the benefits are pretty good. The hiring manager who essentially recruited or poached me seems very smart and fair and would allow me some work from home flexibility. Okay. But for some reason, there's part of me that's, hesitant to take it. The company has a reputation definitely for long hours and high stress and, overloaded plate of responsibilities. And there's a little bit of ambiguity in my projects or responsibilities, and I've taken a title cut too. So while I'm excited about the salary, there's something still just holding me back. I don't know it is. Everyone around me says, take it. I'm crazy.
Well, no, you do know what it is. You just laid it out pretty beautifully. So here's what I would tell you. Since you were recruited, this hiring manager came to you. I think it's a secondary conversation. I think it's one more conversation, and you got to do this with humility. And it's all about posture, your body posture, the tone of your voice. But you go, hey, listen, I'm excited about this. I've heard some things about the culture here, and I don't see that with you, but I've heard some things about the culture I'd like to ask you to address. So you didn't accuse here. You just said, I've heard some things. I'd love for you to address it. That's the first step. The second thing I want you to do is talk about the ambiguity. Hey, I'd like to ask a few more questions. Don't say what you've told me about my job is ambiguous. What you want to say is, hey, I've got a few more questions here. I think that's the grown-up way to do that. I think you've got a wonderful spirit about you. I think if you stay humble there and watch how you handle yourself with the words you use and body language, I think a healthy leader is going to answer those concerns. I would not walk away away yet. But I think you have to listen to those concerns. I think those are all legitimate things. But to hear that, I'm just curious, where'd you hear that? What's the reputation? Where are you getting that?
Well, it's just these types of firms have a reputation for a lot of stress, and I've seen on like Glassdoor, places like that, it is definitely high stress and high stakes business.
Yeah, but I've also heard that Christy Wright was Dave's daughter, and that's a rumor too.
Nobody goes on Glassdoor to sing praises.
Yeah, that's just
nobody happy with their position goes on Glassdoor. So let me. I want to jump in on one thing, Sarah, because I hear a little bit in your voice that was me about 13 years ago. Okay. I worked for a nonprofit for 3 years. Coming out of college, I believed that in order to do work that matters, you had to do work in nonprofit. Okay, that's what I believed as a 22-year-old. I thought all the for-profit companies are bad, evil, greedy. All the nonprofit companies are good, holy, care about people. So I wanted to do work that mattered. So I went and worked in a nonprofit. After burning out, working 80 hours a week, not making hardly any money, I felt called to do something different. But I was so nervous to move outside the nonprofit world because of my beliefs about these cultures. Now, I set that up to set you up to say, are these companies really bad, or do you maybe have some underlying beliefs about what the corporate world represents, not necessarily that you know this company's bad?
Yeah, no, I don't think the company is bad. It's just, I guess I'll add this. I think my long-term goal is to become a recognized expert and consultant for women's health. I love helping women, especially.
Right.
And but I've never taken the plunge and actually done that. Hey, so I'm wondering, maybe do I stick to my current job or have flexibility and time to start something on the side, or maybe take this job, make some good money, and then go and start my own thing.
Sarah,
1 or 2 years.
Sarah.
Yeah.
Christy gave you great perspective. I want to go back to exactly what I told you. You've got to sit down with this leader, and you've got you don't even really have reputation stuff that you've heard. So I think you just address the work hours, expectations, flexibility, and some of the things that you have already said. I'm not 100% sure about my job description and what's expected of me. Just have that conversation and then trust your gut.
You know what else you can do, Sarah? When you ask some questions, whether it's to the hiring manager or if you're able to even ever meet with your other coworkers or managers, other people that are in the company, when you ask questions, you can ask questions in a really interesting way that get you the answer you want. And so you can ask a question like this. Okay, I've got 2 questions for you. One is, what's your favorite part about working here? And what's your least favorite? Because everyone has one. I have a favorite thing about here and my least favorite about here. Everybody has that about every company in the world, but that might give you insights if they say, hey, we work 80 hours a week. Okay, it's a high stress environment. That may actually, in a creative way, find out what you want to find.
Another one,
information.
I tell people all the time on the show, ask the question, describe the type of person that wins in this company.
I like that. That's
Throw
good.
that
Smart.
at them. That's just, and again, but here's the thing. I think you've identified what you need to talk about. But I will tell you, I don't think you have any really concrete evidence that you need to be worried about. But go at it that way, and then let the answer come back your way, and then decide. But the fact that this is work you want to do, and this puts you on the ladder in the women's health space from an expertise standpoint, it feels really, really good to me. But I also want you to go back one more time. But if you feel good after going back, this to me is a no-brainer. The extra money is gravy. And Christy, again, that's what you and I, we both preach this.
Yep.
At the end of the day, money is never going to be the ultimate reason why you stay at a place.
It can't be.
It's got to be meaning. Mm-hmm. And so there you go. Great stuff. Thank you so much, Sarah. Excited for you, by the way. You're on the precipice of something really, really exciting out there. Thank you so much for the call. All right. She is Christy Wright. I'm Ken Coleman. This is The Ramsey Show. We'll be right back. America. Welcome back. This is The Ramsey Show, where America talks about their life and their money. I'm Ken Coleman, joined by my colleague, Christy Wright. We are here taking your calls this hour. It is a free phone call, 888-825-5225. 888-825-5225. And I look out over there, Christine, on the debt-free stage. In the lobby is Lindsay. Hello, Lindsay.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. So you're debt-free, huh?
I am.
Where are you from?
Sacramento, California.
Oh, wow. Did you fly or drive?
We flew.
Okay, very nice. Yep. And you got. We'll learn more about the big crew over there. I see a nice cheering section for you.
Absolutely.
All right. So give us the numbers here. How much debt did you pay off?
Okay. So in total, it was $24,360.36.
Awesome. To the penny. We
36 cents. And how long did that take?
So overall, it took me 17 and a half months.
Okay.
I had gotten divorced last year, moved home, and so that became just my debt. So yeah, in total 17 and a half months. But because I had gone into storm mode, I, obviously was just making minimum payments.
Sure.
Once I got to push play after getting a full-time job, took me 13 and a half months to complete everything.
Okay.
Wow.
And
Good
what
for
was
you.
the range of income?
It was about $27,000 up to $37,000.
Okay.
Wow.
What do you do?
Well, I'm finally back down to just one job. I'm a head cashier.
Oh, nice.
Okay. Yeah.
Fantastic.
Awesome.
So I think we heard a little bit about what made this happen here. Give us a little bit more of the backstory there. Did you know about Dave Ramsey, Ramsey Solutions, this whole idea of financial peace?
I did. Actually, it started with my brother-in-law. He I'm not sure how he found it, but he had kind of started us all on this journey. My sister got out of debt and then got my parents on it. They've gotten themselves out of debt except for their house. I unfortunately did not pay as close of attention initially that I should have. My ex and I had started, we'd gone through financial peace together a couple of years ago, and then the divorce happened, and so then it was now up to me to finish. So it's been a long journey, but it's been super worth it.
Well, talk a little bit about those early stages when you were finally sitting down to look at the numbers and what debt you were responsible for. Talk about how you got yourself just motivated and excited to attack this debt and really work the plan, not just like hear it in theory, like you were saying you'd heard before, but like actually do something different. Why was it different this time?
This time was my sister. She had a very big heart-to-heart talk with me in January of this year, and she had just given me, helping me set goals to kind of get through the year and get through my debt. We realized that I was not focusing enough on my debt. I was trying to stretch my money too thin, and so we had kind of agreed, okay, I need to get a second job so I can get this done with. I wanted to do more things with my debt. I'd love to, spoil my nephew, and I couldn't with debt looming over my head. So she kind of helped me with that, and that's really what changed. Was I got the second job, worked a bunch of hours, and as it got closer and closer, I saw the light at the end of the tunnel. I ended up actually getting in right at the beginning of July. I got my full-time job. I had gotten paid from that and realized I had the money in my account.
Wow.
And so I came home from work, actually from my second job. I was coming home from work that morning, and I'd come home, told my dad, I'm like, oh my gosh, I think I can do this right now.
Wow.
So we double-checked my numbers, make sure that I was going to be fine financially after that. And so I sent in the payment, and that was that.
How big was the payment?
Last one was just under $3,000.
Oh,
wow.
How does it feel now?
Weird. But no, it feels amazing. It's been about a month that I've been debt free, and I think this kind of helps it feel more surreal.
Yeah.
I'm still waiting for my car title to get to me in the mail because that was the last debt that I had. But it feels amazing to that financial piece, that is a real thing. I love that I can not have to worry about where my money is.
Yeah. Well, and especially for you in this season of life, you are giving yourself a clean slate, a fresh start, a new chapter in every area of your life. And money is just a piece of it. But man, the freedom that you feel because you don't have that debt hanging over you. So now when you start to look at what do you want to do for work, or what goals do you want to set, or what does this new chapter look like, you don't have any of that dragging you down. You've got all the options in the world. That's amazing. What's the secret? What do you think was so key to help you stick with it and do it?
The budget.
Okay.
I know everybody says that, but it's absolutely true. And for me, the other big part was my my cheering squad. Having an accountability partner as a single woman was very important, because when my ex and I were doing it together, we were accountability partners.
Right.
But on my own, I mean, I've got 4 amazing accountability partners. My parents, my sister and brother-in-law, they are cheering me on, really helped when I had questions of like, hey, should I do this? Because I am a free spirit. I like to spend my money.
Yeah.
So they would help me rein that in a ton.
Yeah, well, good for you for getting that, because a lot of people don't, because it's awkward or because they really don't want the accountability. They may say they do, but they don't really, and you did, and you got it, so well done.
Yeah. What was the hardest part of this journey? I know you worked a lot of hours. Is there a moment where you can look back on this journey and go, this was really, really tough, but I pushed through, and on the other side now, I'm glad I did?
Absolutely. When I had gotten that second job, so my full-time job, I work the closing shift. So I'm at work until 10:30. And my part-time job, I was working 5 a.m. to 9 a.m.
Wow.
So that was really rough. I'd go to work in the morning, come home, take a nap, eat, get ready for work, and go again. So about probably halfway through that, I was exhausted. I was really ready to be done, but I wasn't done with the debt yet. And so I had struggled. There were some weeks that it was like, I'm just going to do my minimum 12 hours at my second job. And then there was like, okay, I want to be done, which means I have to work more.
Yeah. Yeah, but for short term.
Yeah.
Short-term sacrifice to be in this position now.
Yeah.
Love that. So good. And you mentioned those cheerleaders, those accountability folks. They're with you. I want to point out they're sitting just to your right as we look at you through the window. And they've all got T-shirts, and you were kind of the inspiration behind that. Yours says "Be Weird" for those that can't see the YouTube channel. And so that's really, really exciting too, to kind of be here with them. They're here today. They're going to celebrate with you.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's total family effort. Like I said, they're all out of debt as well. So we've each got individually something different on our shirts. And then on the back of it says debt is a thing of my past.
Yeah.
So it's been a lot of fun.
Well, you've been through a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Not just the debt-free journey, but the relationship break. And I know that has got to be wild. Just to kind of deal with the newness of that, and you're just so strong.
Yeah.
And you're inspiring a lot of people right now, and so we are so grateful. One of the things we want to do for you, we've got a copy of Dave's book, The Legacy Journey,
thank you.
that's the next step for you, to live and give like no one else. And then we're also going to give you a copy of Dave's book, Total Money Makeover, for you to gift to somebody else that you think might need that. So we want to give that to you. So you ready to go? It's been a journey. You ready to go?
I am.
Okay, good. Well,
do
you
it.
can tell. All right, so here it is. Lindsay from Sacramento, California. She paid off $24,000 in 17 and a half months, making $27,000 to $37,000. Lindsay, take it away. Let's hear your debt-free scream.
3, 2, 1. I'm debt free.
There it is. She did it. Mom, Dad, sis looking on. They all got the theme T-shirts, Christy. That's pretty cool stuff.
I love it. And what an important time in our life to do this. It would have been so easy to go through that divorce, to go through one of the hardest things I'm sure she's ever gone through, and then just kind of take your foot off the gas, curl up in the fetal position, be like, I just want to be sad for a few years and just kind of do what I want to.
Go buy a bunch more
therapy
stuff.
Spending. Yeah, I mean, seriously, that would be a very normal way to cope with that. And instead, she channeled that energy, channeled that motivation, and was like, I'm gonna give myself a fresh start. I'm gonna tackle this myself. I'm gonna take care of it. I'm gonna take responsibility for what is mine and get it out of here. And as a result, all of the fruits of her hard work have paid off, and she's standing there debt-free with a whole new chapter in front of her and all the options in the world. Man, what an impressive woman.
She is. The best is yet to come. If you're out there in that situation, you can do it. Lindsay did it. Stay with it. It's always worth it.
That's right.
My colleague is Christy Wright. I'm Ken Coleman. You're listening to The Ramsey Show. Don't move. More coming right up. Welcome back, America. You are listening to The Ramsey Show. I'm Ken Coleman. I'm joined here in studio by my colleague, Christy Wright, as we take your questions. It is a toll-free call, 888-825-5225. Blinds.com's 100% satisfaction guarantee means even if you mismeasure or pick the wrong color, which, by the way, Christy, that would be me, they'll remake your blinds for free. You get free samples, free shipping, and with the new promos they run every month, you'll save even more. Use the promo code RAMSEY to get the best deal. Today's question comes from Noah in Colorado. My husband and I have 2 young kids. We have no debt and make about $200,000 between the two of us. For the first time in our lives, we make enough to live comfortably and save for retirement. We've gone from $25,000 to $300,000 in savings over the last 3 years. My primary job is done remote, and I'm considering taking on a second remote job, which would add about $120,000 in income. I do not want to work more hours, but I believe I can work more efficiently and get good results. I want to do this so we can have the option to retire early and spend more time with our kids. Is having 2 remote jobs at the same time unethical, and am I setting myself up for failure? Christy, I love this question because I actually reported on this on the Ken Coleman Show this week. This is a new thing. There is a huge movement of people that are working 2 remote jobs at the same time. It's happening more and more. So the answer to the question is it is unethical. It is wrong if both companies aren't aware of it. Now, if for some crazy, strange reason, both companies are going, yeah, we're fine with you knocking down salaries or whatever the pay is for 2 companies, then of course it's okay. But for one to not know about the other, I don't think that's right. I don't at all, even though it's doable and people are doing it.
Okay, here's what I heard in this question, and tell me if maybe I'm reading into it too much. Here's what I heard. They said, I don't want to work more hours.
Yeah,
but I believe I could work more efficiently. So if you had asked me, I didn't know about that study, and I know you reported it, but if you're saying, is it unethical to have 2 jobs? No, people have 2 jobs all the time, whether they're remote or out in the workforce, but you have to physically be present and work those hours, right? Like you have to actually do those hours. If you're planning to work from home and not actually work those hours and just collect the check, then of course that's unethical regardless of the other company, because you're planning to collect money for work you're planning to not do.
That's my point.
So
this is not possible.
No. Now, let's use an analogy here. Well, but it is if you work 80 hours a week. I mean, if you work the hours and the companies know, then I don't know why you couldn't do it.
But I know, but that's what I said. The companies have got to know.
Yeah, if the companies know.
That's not right.
But even if the companies know, you still have to actually work the hours.
Yeah, and
you cannot imagine that you're just not going to work and are going to collect a paycheck. Let me give you an example. So, Ken, when I registered for my first seminary class this summer, it said, the curriculum said every class requires about 15 hours a week. Yeah. And in my mind, I'm going like, but does it? Could I maybe get this done in 7 to 8? Like that was mine. No, Ken, it's really 15 hours a week. So it's forced me to make time in my schedule for this, as much as I would love for it to only be 7 hours. Noah, if this job says it's a 40-hour-a-week job, then unless you want to work 40 hours, then yes, it's unethical.
Which you're not going to do.
Because you're asking if you can basically not work those hours they're asking for. That is lying and cheating and stealing.
Yes.
And yes, it's lying. But if you want to work those 40 hours and you want to work 80 hours a week, by all means, take that second job as long as they know.
Yeah, which she's not going to do. So that's why I said what I said. These people are doing this, Christy. It's crazy. There's these people online, and they're like encouraging people to do this, and they're cheating companies. They're like taking 2 full-time jobs and not working full-time because they're at home. It's unbelievable. Well, I can't believe it. But it's real, because here's the deal. This is what remote work does. I'm not anti-remote work, but without accountability, you can want someone to work 40 hours a week, but they could probably do it in 20.
Well, that's a leadership problem.
You don't disagree with me on this. I know you don't.
I don't disagree about
the company's got to know about it. You can't take 2 full-time jobs.
100%, but I'm saying if they say we have a position, there's a 40-hour position, but we're going to give you 3 minutes of work, well, then you don't have a full-time position. You need to fix your position and give them more work.
But that's not what's going on.
No,
the point is people are not telling both companies that they're knocking down double the salary. So it is. This is a thing, though. No, this is not a rare question, is what I'm pointing out.
Well, but then it's good that you point that out, because we need people to be very clear on our stance. If you plan to work 2 remote jobs and not work the hours required by 2 remote jobs that both jobs know about, you are lying, cheating, and stealing. You're by definition, you're a liar.
Yeah.
So I just want to go ahead and be clear so everyone knows. But if you want to work both those jobs, all the hours, tell both jobs, sure, collect both salaries if you do the work for it. Otherwise, you're lying.
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely. Well, we're on the same page there.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I get why people are doing it because, again, there's no oversight.
How do they get away with that, though? Like, how do they
Because there's no oversight. You're not in an office where somebody can see what you're doing. And so you're doing the emails, you're doing the meetings.
Is it just they don't have 40 hours worth of deliverables to where anybody would know, oh, they're slipping on their work? I just can't imagine.
Yeah.
So there's just not, the work is not, it's
they
not
can
really.
Get it. They're able to get the job done to the point that their leadership isn't firing them over it, at least at this point. Now, again, this is a relatively new phenomenon. There's two dudes who went online and created a whole website. I don't want to give them any love.
Yeah.
Because I don't like where it's going.
Right.
But the bottom line is if you can get away with it, but like she said at the last part of the question, A, is it unethical? Yes, based on what we said. And B, am I setting myself up for failure? Yeah. Yeah, personal failure.
Would you go get
By the way, they make $300,000. Excuse me, they make $200,000. I mean, they've got $300,000 in savings. Relax.
Would you go get 2 full-time jobs in person? If you wouldn't, then you don't need to take 2 in home.
That's exactly the point. And she wouldn't.
But there's people that work 2 full-time jobs all the time. That's fine. If you want to do it.
I have no problem with that. But as long as you are fulfilling what is required of you.
Right.
Yeah. Good stuff. All right. Yeah. We've beat that horse to oblivion.
Well, I think it's good to call out because I didn't realize this was a thing.
Oh, it's happening.
But in addition to the fact that it's a thing, your character's at stake here. Your integrity, your character, Yeah.
Let's go to Andrea, who joins us in Tucson, Arizona. Andrea, how can we help?
Hi. So I am a graduate student, and I am on baby step 4. But I am only making about $21,000, and so for me to invest 15% of my income, I wouldn't be able to afford my 4 walls. So I'm kind of at the point where I want to invest in my retirement, but at the same time, graduate school is taking up all of my time. And is it bad not to invest in my retirement right now because I'm investing in my future?
No, your future is absolutely the priority here. You're a little bit different situation, Andrea, because you're a college student. And so, of course, you would always need to take care of your 4 walls first anyway. But the goal would be that later in life, you can take care of the 4 walls and invest in baby step 4. But right now, your college education is the priority. So not only do you want to cover your 4 walls, you want to have some cushion between you and any life transitions. So whether that's next semester's tuition, books, transportation, all that stuff. So no, that is investing right now. If you cannot afford it, above and beyond your regular expenses is not a priority for you. And that's okay because it will be when you get to that stage. When you're out of college, when you can afford that on top of your 4 walls, that'll be the time to start that. And you're still so young, you will still be starting investing very early. So don't be discouraged by losing time there because you said it perfectly. You're investing in your future, and that's what you should be doing as a college student. So no, you're doing great.
Yeah, love that question. And the reality is that so many young people don't realize how much progress they're going to make, even if they're coming out of grad school.
Right.
They're like, oh, it's no. I mean, if you're starting to invest in your mid-20s and you do it the way Ramsey Solutions tells you to do, I mean, it's going to be unbelievable. I just read an article today, 401ks, Christy, all-time high.
Oh, awesome.
So, you know how we talk about just stay on the roller coaster ride, don't freak out. I mean, the bottom line is you're going to make up a lot of ground. So I love that advice. But it makes good sense. I love the question. I love that she's thinking about that.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. If you're in college and you're debt-free and your priority is staying debt-free, paying for college, then right there you're ahead of the vast majority of college students who are deeply in debt with student loans or credit card debt or whatever. So you're doing great, Andrea. You're doing awesome. Stay on that track. Get through this college education, and then you can start looking at investing when you've got more income to do so.
Yeah. I can't believe the hour is done.
Goes by fast.
Time flies when you're having fun.
Fun Friday.
And we are having fun. Hey, I want to thank our producer, Ben Hill. I want to thank our associate producer and call screener, Kelly Daniel, and my colleague, Christy Wright. Always fun to be with you. And America, thank you. You are the reason we do the show. This is The Ramsey Show.
It's Kelly, associate producer for The Ramsey Show. This episode is over, but if you heard about an event, product, or service and didn't have a chance to write it down, don't worry. We list everything you've heard about during this episode in the podcast show notes section or head to theramseyshow.com. Thanks for listening.
This is The Ramsey Show. You can be intentional about your character. You can have money and a career. You are the hero in your story.
Live from the headquarters of Ramsey Solutions, broadcasting from the Dollar Car Rental Studio, this is The Ramsey Show. It's where America hangs out to have a conversation about your life. I'm Ken Coleman. I'm joined by my colleague, Christy Wright. The phone number to jump in on the conversation is 888-825-5225. 888-825-5225, and we will dive in. We're going to break it down. We're going to help you see that there is hope. We're going to help you see that there's a clear path of actions to be able to move forward, whether you're talking about your work, getting a bigger shovel, you're talking about getting time back in your life, you're talking about marriage and relationship stuff around money, you're talking about toxic leadership, or you want to lead better. I mean, it's all up for conversation. 888-825-5225. Let's go to Dana, who's going to join us in Kansas City. Dana, how can we help?
Hey, Ken and Chrissy.
How are you?
What's going on?
Oh, I'm just sitting here racking my brain trying to figure out whenever I need to start my business.
All right. Well, I like this question. What's going on? What's the situation around it?
Well, so right now I'm an outside salesperson for a national pest control company. I do really well. I enjoy my job, but there's sometimes I kind of feel like a caged animal. So I am looking at starting my own landscaping and lawn care business. I was that little kid that you saw, 10, 12 years old out there with a push mower, shoveling snow, doing all that stuff whenever I was a little kid, and that always has intrigued me. So I'm looking at doing that, but right now we're in the middle of baby step 2, and so I'm trying to figure out if I need to pump the brakes or just get on the accelerator a little bit more.
Well, I've got a couple follow-up questions because I think that you can do it now, but we just need to figure out the numbers. So how much debt do you have?
So right now we're at $23,000.
Okay. And do you have a reasonable level of equipment, a mower, a weed eater, the basic, leaf blower, the basics you'd need to start at least just cutting yards? Don't think fancy landscaping. This is not the Cadillac version of your dream idea business, but do you have something to start getting started?
So right now, no, I'd be starting from scratch. That being said, I do have a paid-off vehicle that I would be able to sell and cash flow, a truck, a trailer, mower, and all that.
Would that be one of your primary vehicles or something that's not going to hold you back as far as normal transportation?
So I have a company-provided vehicle as of right now.
Okay, so this is your personal.
I wouldn't want to be starting up in August. This would be a startup at the soonest in the spring of this upcoming year.
Right. How much could you get for that vehicle?
I'm thinking somewhere between 9 to 10.
I'm going to challenge you for a second. Why wouldn't you sell that vehicle now and put it to the 23 in debt and fast forward this deal, this whole journey?
Yeah, and that's the other path that I've been trying to rack my brain on, is I can sell that. I could put the business on hold for another year. My work isn't like driving me out and like I hate my job. It's nothing like that.
Sure.
What do you make?
I feel like there's something missing.
Sure.
What do you make?
So right now I'm sitting around 70 gross for the year.
So if you put 10,000,
you can get this debt out of here fast.
Yeah, But how fast would you pay off the debt? What's your debt payoff date as of right now without selling this vehicle?
As of right now, we're looking at the end of January this upcoming year.
Oh, dude, I'd sell the car today because right now, let me tell you why. Because now is probably the highest amount of money you're going to be able to get for that vehicle. I mean, we are at an unbelievable used car premium right now. So I would sell that now and cut this debt almost in half, not quite. And then you're going to fast forward everything. And dude, the lawn care and landscaping, that opportunity is not going away. That's what I would do. Christy, do you see anything with that?
No, I mean, the fact that you're going to get out of debt so soon, this is not even a question, because I misunderstood. I thought your question was, can I start the business in baby step 2? Which, if you can turn a profit quickly, it is okay to start a business in baby step 2. That's why I was trying to help you figure out how to do that. But you just told me you're going to be out of debt in January. You wouldn't want to start the business till March anyway. So starting in baby step 2 is not even a question. And the great news is you're going to have between January and March to save up a little cash to maybe get you a mower, get a couple things that you need. And then you start putting business cards in mailboxes. You start talking to your neighbors. You start, as the spring is coming, leaves are getting on the trees. You're talking to people when that season is ramping up and you're getting that business going. But still, Dana, I want you to get it started on the side. Do not walk away from your steady paycheck, even though you're out of debt. You're going to build this business up on the side, which is a perfect business to do on the side. You can do this in the evenings, on the weekends, until the business can support you. And then when the business can support you financially, the money's actually there, and consider the seasonality, consider the winter in your projections, and then you're ready to stop that. So that's what you're going to do. You're going to get out of debt first. You're going to build up the business marketing and demand and get your equipment in the spring. You're going to start your business in the spring on the side, build it up all summer, and then we'll see how that goes before you're ready to walk away from your full-time job. But I think that's an awesome timeline. I think you can totally do it. And that's a very safe way to do it, and it's a very soon way to do it. You're doing it safely, but it's also pretty quick, so that's exciting. Yeah, and I'm glad that we got this call, because I think when they realize that I don't have to walk away from the day job, and it's just not necessary. It's a false narrative. I can start, as you say, small and grow slow. And certainly in a landscaping, once he gets out of debt, gets that emergency fund going, he can cash flow one machine, right? And he starts taking on 2, 3, 4 yards, and all of a sudden, we just stack that money. And I get this call all the time on the Ken Coleman Show. People say, well, Ken, when's the right time to move to my side hustle full time? And I go, it's not a time. It's not a time question. It's a math question. Yes.
Once you've got, and I prefer 6 months of your income in your company, your side hustle, at least 6 months. Personally, and again, this is conservative, I'd like to have 12 months of my salary before I'm going to walk, but 6 months is probably fine if you got a pipeline, if you got customers. But it becomes a math thing. Well, once I see that the math is there, that I'm making as much or more, or if it's just a little less, but with a slight budget adjustment, it's a no-brainer.
Well, and the other thing, though, is that I think people forget about is that path is not as glamorous. It's not as like, wow, like you're not having this Jerry Maguire moment where you grab the goldfish and go, who's with me? It's like, that seems so cool in the movies. And in real life, it's terrifying. You don't have an income and you look crazy because you are. So instead, do the less impressive, less Hollywood version where you start on the side, you're scrappy, you work nights, you work weekends, you're tired, feels like you're working two full-time jobs, because you are. You build it up on the side to where it can financially support you, and then it's not this terrifying leap, it's the next logical step. We don't want you to take leaps, take steps.
Jerry Maguire trivia real quick before we go to break. Do you know how much the human head weighs?
8 pounds.
Is that right? I can't even remember.
It's 8 pounds.
Is that right?
Did I get it? Yes! I'm getting a yes.
Great. That's one of the greatest lines in Jerry Maguire, the little dude in the car. Great job, Christy.
You know how many pounds the human head weighs?
I love that. So good. All right, folks, we're having a lot of fun. Don't move. More of your calls coming right up. This is The Ramsey Show.
What makes our show unique is that we genuinely care about our listeners. We're intentional about choosing the best advertisers to recommend. Blinds.com is no exception. They offer high-quality window treatments at unbelievable prices, and they make it simple to shop blinds, shades, and interior shutters with easy online ordering, free shipping, and a guaranteed perfect fit. Go to Blinds.com and take advantage of this week's special savings.
This is the Ramsey Show. I'm Ken Coleman. I'm joined by my colleague Christy Wright, and we are here together this hour to take your calls. 888-825-5225. It's toll free. 888-825-5225. Let's go to Indianapolis, Indiana now, where Elizabeth joins us. Elizabeth, how can we help?
Hi, Ken and Christy. My question is a career one. It boils down to the opposite of your new book title, Ken. I went from purpose to just a paycheck in my job. I'm looking for some advice. 4 weeks ago, I left a job that I really enjoyed for a new opportunity that I was excited about with a bigger paycheck. But in just that short amount of time, I've discovered that I feel no missional purpose behind the work that I'm doing every day. And when that happens and you lose that, the 8-hour workday suddenly becomes a really, really long one.
Yes.
But I left on excellent terms with my former company. I actually learned that I have the chance to go back in a new role that I think I would once again feel a lot of excitement and passion about. But I'm not sure what the responsible way is to handle that, given that I just started with this new company. So I would appreciate your perspective on that.
Yeah, first of all, don't overthink this. You're not a bad person. You are not a bad person. You made a decision that a lot of human beings have made. And it feels really good, by the way, when we get an opportunity for a promotion that also comes with a bigger paycheck. So let's take all the guilt and let's just throw it aside, because it's a very normal response. There's nothing wrong with you, and you're not a flake or some type of evil person because you're going to do what I'm going to tell you to do, which is you got to go sit down with first of all, I'd accept the new position at the old company. And I do it with some humility and go, hey, I chased the paycheck. I am beyond grateful to have this opportunity. To me, that's a no-brainer. So accept the old one. Go back to the old company, accept that. Now go to the new folks and say, hey, listen, I'm really sorry. This is a difficult conversation for me. And I'm grateful that you offered me a promotion to take this job opportunity 4 weeks ago. And I took it. And I realized that it's not right for me. And you can use, the words I use. You've been listening to my show. I can tell that. Just talk about passion and mission and go, here's the deal. I'm stealing from you if I stay here a day longer. Now, here's the deal. It doesn't mean they're going to go, oh, well, thank you, Elizabeth. You are so nice to tell us this. They may be pissed off.
Right.
Okay, that's just the reality of the world we live in. But you still got to be honest. You still got to tell them what's right. That's the honorable thing to do. And say, hey, I want to leave well, whatever that looks like for you all. I want to help with the transition. I am really, really sorry, but I'm doing this now because if I delay this, it's not going to be good for me or for you. And again, I'm sorry to put you in this position, but I got to own it. I got to be a big girl right now. But don't, fall on a sword like you're a bad person. Just kind of own that situation, and then I would move on. I'll give you an example of how this has happened in the sports world before. There's a guy by the name of Billy Donovan, longtime college basketball coach, a long-time coach, has won 2 national titles at the University of Florida back-to-back. And he got approached after the second title by the Orlando Magic, an NBA team. And he begrudgingly kind of listened to him and then decided he was going to take the job, Christy. Well, so he takes it. And he goes to the whole press conference, cries, leaving Florida, beautiful, special place in my life, and goes to Orlando, does the press conference there, wakes up 2 days later and tells his wife this was the wrong move. Now, this is a big deal.
Yeah.
This guy's going to be a Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
And but he owned it, and it was a big deal. Got criticized, got crushed in the media by a lot of people. Yeah. But he stood up and said, "Hey, I made the wrong decision.
Yeah.
I got enticed by the opportunity to be in the National Basketball Association, something I've always dreamed of doing. It's not right. I belong back at Florida," and he went back. So this is tough. This is not going to be an easy conversation, but I think she's got to do it.
But she does. And what I love about your advice to her that is so key anytime, even if you're a leader, let's say there's someone listening right now, you're a leader, you're a business owner, and you have made a mistake in your leadership, whatever that looks like. The key is owning it, period. Owning it. And so when you go, Elizabeth, and you have this conversation, you just say exactly like Ken said, you say, I'm really sorry, I made a mistake. And that's like, I made a mistake. People will respect you for just owning that. And the other thing, I don't know what this new company is like. If they have a 90-day policy, then most companies expect that in the first 90 days, they're going to figure out if you're the right fit for the position, and you're going to figure out if they're right for you. And so it is so great that you're finding this out now. It's not like you're 6 months in and they're really starting to put some workload on you and then you pull out. You haven't even done anything yet. I mean, mean, really, like you have not like got so integrated into this company that they can't stand to not have you. No. This is fine. You're going to do this and you're going to feel such relief afterwards because you're going to be back where you need to be doing the right thing. It's just going to take a hard conversation between now and then. And the key is humility and owning it. And you're going to do that. So yeah, you definitely should do it.
Yeah. And just a real quick warning for folks, because a lot of people make this decision. When we get a new opportunity, two things are happening. Okay. One, we feel good. Feels good to be wanted by somebody else.
Sure does.
Hey, throw our shoulders back. Feels good. Somebody wants me. Second thing that happens is when there's more zeros or there's more money involved, it all of a sudden just becomes this is the right thing to do. This is a good decision. So I feel good, and it must be good because it's more money, and that's a trap. So just be careful of that. I have more of these calls than you could possibly imagine on this, and really proud of you, though, for owning this, Elizabeth, and your best days are ahead. Let's go to Los Angeles, California now, where Elmer joins us. Elmer, how can we help?
Hi. Hey, how you guys doing?
We are having a blast. What's up?
Just want to say I'm a long-time listener and first-time caller.
Oh, thank you.
Awesome.
Yeah, I was hoping to speak with Mr. Ramsey himself, but you guys will do it.
Can I just tell you, Elmer, that I got to tell you, I understand. I would be disappointed if I were you as well, but let me tell you something. Christy can handle this.
Elmer, let me tell you, you and the rest of America would rather Dave to be sitting in these seats right
Yeah, we can handle it. Thank you for your honesty.
We are very aware, and we're still here for you. What's your question?
Okay, so I've been battling with student debt. That's the only debt I had, you know. Anyways, I took care of $27,000 out of a private student debt.
Okay.
I took care of that, and then, you know, even after COVID, I killed it in December 2020.
Okay.
Now I'm trying to battle the big hairy monster of the federal student debt, which is at $78K.
Okay.
Now my job situation, my income has changed because I'm not earning the same amount that I was. And
are you earning more or less?
Way less.
Okay.
Way less. So now I need to attack this because it's not going away, and we all know that the government's not going to help at all.
Why'd your income go down?
And I left the country I was working at, and I returned back to the States because of my wife, who's working on the immigration process.
Okay. What's your income right now?
Wow. I would say it's at $21,000.
Okay.
$21K a year.
So let me jump in here. So Elmer, listen to me. Right now, we have 10.1 million jobs available in the United States. 10.1 million available. Okay. Companies are paying signing bonuses. Companies are offering tuition assistance or full-blown tuition. What did you do in that other country? What kind of work were you doing?
I was a foreign English instructor.
Okay. Let me just tell you something. I'm going to give it to Christy to talk to you about the debt snowball. But for you to assume that you can't make more than $21,000 in this economy, let me just tell you something. People are desperate for workers. You need to get back to work as a part of this process. Let's get the income up.
That is the answer. I mean, Elmer, that is the answer. You're living in LA. You can't be okay with $21,000, and there is no strategy to pay off that $78,000 on $21,000 while living in LA. I don't know how you're eating, honestly. So you have got to get your income up. That might be a second job, third job, might be doing freelance English teaching. It might be getting a completely different job with a promotion, with the signing bonus. Today, you're searching jobs today. Your debt payoff plan is getting your income up. That is the only way you're going to do this. And you can do it, but it's going to take a different strategy than you had before to get that income back up.
Yeah. It's one of the hottest job markets that we've ever seen. In fact, folks, there are more jobs available now than there were in February of 2020, which was the previous high. It's unbelievable. If you just have a pulse and you'll show up with a smile, you can make really good money in America right now. Go to work. This is The Ramsey Show. This is The Ramsey Show. I'm Ken Coleman, joined by my colleague, Christy Wright. The phone number to jump in on the conversation is 888-825-5225, 888-825-5225. Okay, have you ever made a dumb decision with zeros on the end because you didn't do your research? I have. So I'm, telling you, don't be ashamed. Most people make choices based on feelings or opinions, especially when they're buying a house. But when it comes to the real estate market, feelings are not your friend. Facts are, so check your facts. Find out what you can actually afford. Research what's trending in home prices. Talk to a reputable real estate pro in your area. Never buy a house without the facts. Again, go to RamseySolutions.com/agent. That's RamseySolutions.com/agent. And get an agent who will help you make smart decisions. That's RamseySolutions.com/agent. All right, let's go now to Pensacola, Florida, where Nathan joins us. Nathan, how can we help?
Hey, how you guys doing? Appreciate you taking my call.
You bet.
I love the show. I listen all the time. So I recently retired from the military, and I've got a new job, but it doesn't pay a lot right now at the moment. It's going to pay more in the coming years. But right now it's not paying a lot. So we're kind of, I wouldn't say on a super fixed income, but we're kind of on a fixed income. My question would be, I stopped making any kind of investment contributions when I retired from the military. I was making a 7% contribution automatically, and that's done really well. It's continuing to grow. But my question will be, should I be taking some of my military retirement money and investing that as well? Based on our income right now. Now, we're doing well otherwise. We've got a lot of equity in our home. We've got a lot of mutual fund cash that's in growth mutual funds. And then we've also got, of course, IRAs and Roth IRAs and such. So we're doing really well. If we did nothing else in our life right now, we would live comfortably. But my question would be, is there more that I should be doing with that retirement money besides just kind of bringing it into account and paying off the bills?
Yeah. So what is your income from your, well, first of all, thank you for your service. What's your income from your military retirement?
So with the disability and the retirement, I'm about $7,500 a month.
Okay. And you're saying you don't need that to live on because with the job that you have now, you can live on that?
Yes.
Okay. And then what are you contributing currently to your retirement?
Nothing right now.
Okay. Yes, I would use your income that you don't need to contribute to your retirement. But what you want to do is you want to sit down with an investment professional, because if you want to end up transferring any of this and they can help you with the tax implications in terms of what to move where, you want to sit down with a really good investment professional and they can actually walk you through this. But you can and should be investing right now since you have the income to do it. If you didn't have the income, then that would be one thing, but you have it. And so, yeah, Nathan, I would sit down with one of our endorsed local providers, one of our investment professionals, and get them to walk you through where to put it, how much to contribute. It sounds like you should be able to be continuing to contribute your 15%. It's just coming from a different place. It's not coming from your traditional job. It's just a little bit of different situation because you're in retirement in one, but actively working in another. So you just want to sit down with someone to walk you through that. But yeah, you can and should be contributing now.
Let's go to Aaron now in Richmond, Virginia. Aaron, how can we help?
Hey, yeah, it's a long-time listener, first-time caller.
Awesome.
So just trying to figure out, so my wife basically is not on board with trying to pay off debt. Definitely trying, my goal is to pay off debt. We have separate debt, we have separate bank accounts, and separate everything else. Just because we've both been burned in the past by former spouses. So just trying to figure out a way to get her on board to pay down this debt.
Wow.
Okay. Well, Aaron.
Where do we start on this one?
Listen, so this is actually not a question about paying down debt at all, because what you said is actually the most important piece of this that you just flew by, which is we've been burned in the past. Yep. So y'all have been burned in the past, and so you're not trusting. So you have separate bank accounts. So you have separate goals, and that is affecting everything with your finances. So actually, to me, and actually that's the bigger problem. I would actually, I would care to fix that more than fix the who's paying down what debt when. I care about you getting debt free, but I think the fact that you don't trust each other in your marriage is a way way bigger problem. And so the best thing I could advise you to do in that sense, and maybe you guys can work it out on your own with just some conversations, but I think even just a counselor or someone in your church for you guys to work through those fears, because listen, you're not dating, you're married. And it is an oxymoron to be married to someone you don't trust. The trust is the foundation of marriage. And so for you guys to fix the trust issue will fix the bank account issue. And then you can talk to, her about mutual goals. I mean, to me, that is so secondary to the trust, because you'll never be able to get her on board, as you say, or even get on the same page with goals when y'all have separate bank accounts. But the foundation of the separate bank accounts is a lack of trust. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense.
How long have you guys been married?
I was just going to ask that. Thank you.
Yeah, sure.
About 3 years.
Okay. And have you ever even discussed the idea of combining accounts?
We have discussed the idea in the past. Basically, comes down to that. I don't think either one of us are 100% trusting. I'm willing to put, to use her bank account if she wanted to. It doesn't really matter to me. But, I just don't know. She's not really down with that, because she doesn't want to be like, hey, I'm using my money or I'm using your money. I'm like, no, it'd be our money together.
Is she more of the spender?
Oh, most definitely, yeah.
Yeah. She didn't want you telling her what to do. Yeah. That's the problem. She didn't want you seeing what she's spending things on, and she didn't want to have anybody to report to. And listen, she got married. She's got to get over that.
Yeah. Hold on a second. All right, this is great. Because actually, I'm going to come at you, Aaron. You just said a second ago that you're like, neither one of us are there. So I got to tell you something. You might need to show her some trust before you can ask her to show you some trust. I heard just as much fear out of you. Am I right?
Yeah, I would say so. Yeah.
But he said he's willing to share bank accounts.
And I know, but my point is he's got to make that step. I love that. I love that he said that. But it's like you got to do something about that, and you got to say, here's the deal. But I think back to what Christy said is absolutely right. This is a counseling deal. You guys got to really get over some of the stuff that, by the way, is very real and raw. Mm-hmm. I mean, I don't want to in any way minimize it.
No.
But Aaron,
that's why
you both are hurting, and you need to get with a pro. I'd stop having the conversation about budgets and sharing accounts and just go, hey, you know what? I think we just got to heal from our past hurts, and let's help each other heal.
Well, and the thing, Aaron, is that lack of trust, you're seeing it in your bank accounts and this symptom at the surface, but it is pouring into more aspects of your marriage than you can possibly realize. And I don't even have to know you guys to know that, because trust is so foundational. And so if you guys each have your individual wounds and you won't let that other person in, whether it's from a bank account standpoint or whatever, the bank account's a great tangible example. But what you're doing is you're punishing your spouse for your ex-spouse's mistakes, and she's punishing you and you're punishing her, and what's happening is it's putting a huge wedge in your marriage where y'all can't make progress, not just financially, but in more aspects of your marriage than you realize, because of that lack of trust, because of that, well, he burned me or she burned me, and you can't come into this part of my life. That is a recipe for disaster in marriage. And so I just want to encourage you to get with a counselor. One of the foundational things you'll talk about is trust, but one of the first steps of that would be to combine your bank accounts and then speak into goals together. And don't even try to get her on board with the debt until you fix this, because you haven't earned the right to talk about debt if you don't even have the foundation of trust. But get that fixed, and then you can talk about the bank accounts, the goals, and the debt. And you'll get there, but you might need a little outside help to get it, and that's okay. That is a good thing. Help is a good thing. Matt and I get help with things we need help with. It is a good thing. You can do it.
Absolutely. Start trusting her. Lead the way. Be the leader here. And please go see a professional. Good stuff. Thank you so much for the call. Fight for this. Fight hard for your marriage. It's worth it. All right, don't move. More of your calls coming up. This is The Ramsey Show. Welcome back, America. You are listening to The Ramsey Show, where we talk about your life, your money, your work, your time, your health. We're thrilled to have you. I'm Ken Coleman, joined by Christy Wright, my colleague. Today's scripture of the day: in the same way you judge others, you will be judged, and with the measure you use, it will be measured to you. Matthew 7:2. Our quote today comes from Dale Carnegie. Any fool can criticize, condemn, and complain, and most fools do. But it takes character and self-control to be understanding and forgiving. Well, that's interesting that Carnegie said that, because it feels like that'd be great advice for anybody going on social media today.
Yeah, that's a fact. It takes a lot more.
Any fool can get behind a keyboard and fire a dart.
That's right.
But they never say it to you in person, Christy.
That's right. It's
Although, we had a fun moment this hour. Can we revisit it?
Please.
It was your favorite moment.
Oh, which one? I have so many.
Earl. Was it Earl? He called.
Elmer.
We take Elmer. Thank you. Oops. Oh, well, it's perfect. We take the call. Elmer, how can we help? Very nice guy. Slow pace. And with a little bit of disappointment, he said, well, I was actually hoping to talk to Dave.
Here's the people.
At which point I should have said, well, you know what? We were actually looking forward to talking to somebody else besides you. No, I kid.
Listen, can we tell America what happens in the lobby in between segments?
I'm so glad you're going to do this, because this is very awkward for me, and now we get to therapeutically share it.
Listen, here's the thing about Enneagram 8s. If there's awkwardness, we just bulldoze straight into it. We don't tiptoe, sugarcoat. Like, we're just going to call it out.
Right.
So you guys.
Wait a second. Hold on. Are you an 8 or a 3?
An 8. By the book 8. Yeah. 8 wing 7.
All right, we'll talk about it off air.
Okay, great. So you guys don't know this, but here at our lobby, there is our debt-free stage. You've seen this probably if you watch us on YouTube, and people come in. Well, in between the breaks, even when we're not having debt-free screams, we have people that come here and they line up, and we go out, us together, if it's us hosting together.
Right, well, they line up to meet Dave.
Sure, they do. And get their book signed.
Yeah,
that's the
and get a pic.
And it's fun. We get pictures, all the things. Well, since we've been hosting the Ramsey Personalities with Dave, we go out with him.
Yeah.
Because that's what we're told to do.
Yeah, so we're voluntold.
We just voluntold on out there.
Yeah.
And here's what happens. So Dave goes first. He's on the right side of the stage if you're facing the stage. We're on the left side of the stage. And if you could see me on YouTube, man, y'all, people give us such a hard shoulder. They move so far away from us that you're like, I'm not even going to try to be in the picture, because they're cropping us out. As soon as they get home, they're cropping us out like we were never there, and they got their picture with them and Dave Ramsey.
This is my personal favorite. So my personal favorite is Dave goes out first, and they greet him, and then I do this number. I stick my hand out, hi, and they're talking to Dave. They do this number, they curl around, and I do this.
If y'all
the old hand to the hair move, you know what I mean? No, it's not all the time, but some of the time.
It is, and we don't fight it. Like, I will deliberately move away from people so that they can crop me out.
Well, he's a legend.
I want to help him out.
Yeah, he's a legend. He's an icon. We get it. But it was really refreshing, honestly, and he wasn't being mean.
Not at all. I just want to be I just want to say, Elmer, I agree with you. Like,
I know. I'm so sorry.
No one's more aware of that than these two people in these seats right now.
We get it. We get it. You tuned in today, and Dave's not here, but we can still help you.
We're here.
And we did.
And we're here.
But,
and we're going to be here whether you like it or not. So
Yeah, there is that. That is absolutely true.
And Dave will insist we're in the picture, whether you like it or not, but we will scooch away so you can crop us out, because we are here for you.
Yeah, that's the deal. But people say, what's it like working for Dave? You know what? It really is amazing, because the guy he's the real deal. And he loves it. He loves doing this because he's coaching people up. So we always love being with him. So here we go. Now that we just owned all that, and it's okay, folks. You don't have to be excited about taking a picture with us. It's not going to hurt our feelings. We get it. Let's go to Wyatt in Wichita, Kansas. Wyatt, how can we help?
Good. How are you?
Oh, we're having a blast. Can you tell?
What's going on?
So I'm 22 years old, and I'm averaging about $120,000 a year.
All right.
Wow.
And
okay.
What do you do?
I work at a refinery.
Nice.
And I have been putting my money in my 401k. Have about $100,000 in there.
Nice.
And I was wondering, would it be smart to continue doing that, or should I start putting money into a Roth IRA instead?
How much are you investing right now as a percentage?
16%, and then the company matches 6%.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, and at that income, Wyatt, you're maxing out on your 401k.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you need to be continuing to invest.
Great job.
Absolutely.
So I'm guessing you don't have any debt, or do you have debt? Oh,
not a whole lot. I have a mortgage and
Wait a
Wyatt.
second. He tricked us.
He did. That was sneaky, Wyatt. I see what you did there.
Well,
listen, you're doing a lot of things right, but let's talk about maybe some areas that can be improved. Not investing, but the debt. What debt do you have?
I have a truck that I owe $15,000 on.
Okay. Anything
and
else?
And I have a house that I owe $85,000 on.
Okay. Well, aside from the house, just the truck. Is that the only debt you have other than the house?
Yep.
Okay. We're going to knock this out. Like, how quick could you knock it out?
Well, I only owe $15,000 on it.
Let me ask another question. Do you have how much money you got in savings right now?
Roughly just cash.
Yeah, not retirement, just savings.
Probably $6,000. I've been putting my money towards other areas.
All right.
Yeah. But on that income, you can knock out this debt very fast. So I want you to take $5,000 of your $6,000, pay that on the debt.
Mm-hmm.
You got about 10 left. I want you to just for a few months, pay this debt off. Okay. Normally what we would do is we would tell you to pause retirement, and you can do that. You can pause retirement in order to pay this off. But honestly, you can get it done in a couple months if you buckle down a few months. And so I don't even know that it's worth it to pause that in order to, by the time it goes into effect or whatever, you could run the numbers and see if it's worth it to pause your retirement investing in order to have that extra cash. But I just want you getting it paid off quick. And at that income, you absolutely should be able to. Don't go out to eat. Don't do anything for just a couple months. Get it paid off. And then from that point, for your investing, you're already maxing it out. What you want to do, you can start to put it on the house. So you would walk through baby steps 4, 5, and 6. 4 is investing 15%. You're doing that. Baby step 5, funding kids' college. Do you have any kids, Wyatt?
No, I do not.
Okay. So you're not going to worry about that. We'll just pass on over that. And then you would just put the rest at the house. And and this is you're taking the foot off of gas a little bit more than you are in baby step 2, where you're sacrificing everything. So it would be more of a marathon, not a sprint. You keep working on the house. You can make extra payments and you can start to pay that down. But Wyatt, at your age and with your income, you could have that house paid for pretty, in the next few years if you wanted to. And man, then you're just setting yourself up for such success for anything else that you want to do. Any other goals you have in life, if you get married, have a family, those types of things, it's just going to be so easy because you don't have any payments.
How much is your house worth, Wyatt? You have any idea?
They just appraised it at $170.
Come on,
way to go.
Come on, man.
Dude,
Chrissy's
22.
Right. Dude.
You're 22.
No, I got a good deal on it now.
Yeah, but listen.
Right now,
listen, do exactly what Christy said. Don't even hesitate, and then knock that house out, because you're going to be really in really good shape if a missus comes along, and then we want to start a family and roll that house, and that house should work for a young couple, right? And the kids, and but you could be in a really good situation financially. So man, I just want you to be encouraged. You're in great shape. Do exactly what Christy said there. Knock the truck out, and then walk the rest of the baby steps out, because you, my friend, are way ahead of the game. Congratulations.
Yeah, you're doing awesome. Yeah. What an awesome position to be in.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, thanks for calling.
How about that?
That is cool.
22-year-old in the refinery business, and again, I didn't ask him if he went to college, but I mean, this is fascinating to be where he's at right now.
Yeah.
Because now he's going to set himself up. Who knows where he's going to go?
Yeah.
In 3 years, he wakes up and goes, I want to start my own business, or I want to do this, I want to do that. And all of that freedom financially. And to be able to have capital to start something.
Yeah.
I mean, that's unbelievable.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, you talk to a lot of small business owners. I mean, having financial freedom to where you could have some cash and it's a calculated risk and it doesn't even affect your income, that's a game changer.
Well, not only that, but just the thought that he could be potentially totally debt-free before he ever gets married or has kids. First of all, that is real attractive to a woman for the record.
Watch out.
But second of all, kids are expensive. And so you've got all this. You have no payments when you're bringing, a family on board. I mean, that's just amazing. Well done. Well done, Wyatt.
Christy Wright, always fun
to
be with you, my friend. Great job. I want to thank our producer, Ben Hill, our associate producer and call screener, Jenna Sears, and you, America. Thank you for joining us. This is The Ramsey Show.
Did you know you can listen to The Ramsey Show on your smart speaker? Just tell Alexa, Google Assistant, or Siri to play The Ramsey Show podcast. Check out all Ramsey Network shows on your smart speaker today.